This is Adam Nutter.
And this is Greg Trout.
And we're Nerds with Words, and you are listening to the BS Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee. And I hope you're liking it as much as I am. I'm just rolling on the ground with laughter. Oh, this is so much fun. Are you enjoying it like I am? That's good. That's good. Anyway, here's looking at you. Here's treats. Don't punch that button. I'm not through talking.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Sante San, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are Artistic Bus talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this episode, we are discussing the Ghost of Christmas Future. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
And on this show, we follow the Disney concept of edutainment, where we focus on your entertainment, and along the way, you just might learn a thing or two.
Hey.
And as always, to join in our discussion, we have a resident comic genius from ivorycomics.com, Mr. Eli Ivory. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Happy, very close to Christmas to you guys.
Very close to Christmas.
Very
yes.
close to Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah. Xmas.
X-rated.
Eczema.
Eczema.
All that.
That's itchy.
And a person that has eczema is our next person, the resident travel agent for Magic Moments Vacations, the Shaggy TA, Lee Lastavica. Hi, Lee.
I'm just hiding all the eczema under my beard.
I know, that's why you're growing it so long, isn't it?
How do you put lotion on that?
It puts the lotion on the skin, Dave.
He just puts it in a tub and just dips his whole face in it, and it just comes out like, watch out.
Man, so it's like, it must be like his beard has like dandruff.
The beard drift.
Like every time he scratches his beard, that dry skin is man, you gross, Lee.
I just say I'm like Ali Sheedy on Breakfast Club. Like,
I'm glad we finally found the one way that Lee is like Ali Sheedy.
Oh, that is true.
That had been bothering me for this whole 2020.
I've been thinking here. It's like how is Lee like Ali Sheedy?
I know.
Now we know.
Now we know. Yeah.
We closed out 2020 knowing that that's how he is.
I'm so glad I'm now fulfilled as a human being.
And another human being that we love to have on our show is our longtime weekend listener X, or now known as Professor X, Keith. How you doing, Keith?
Good. Hey, guys. 2 days to Christmas. I'm sitting here drinking my hot cocoa. It's snowing outside. I'm wrapping some last-minute presents. I'm really excited for Christmas.
I am too, man. I'm drinking my hot toddy, ready to do a lot of cooking and drinking.
I haven't even started Christmas shopping, so I'm in trouble.
Well, Lee, this is the future. It's only 2 more days till Christmas. Go.
Don't worry. I got a whole factory of elves working on it right now.
Way to go, Ali Sheedy.
Got that sweatshop.
Got our elf named Emilio.
Judd.
Molly the elf. The whole brat pack.
Right.
Breakfast Club, yeah.
This is what happens when you spill paint in Santa's workshop.
No, Santa, F you.
Oh, man. Well, look, we're rounding out our series of shows with Professor X. And today we are talking about the Ghost of Christmas Future, man. And I'll toss it over to Keith to give you a little tease about what you're going to hear. Keith, take it away, sir.
So today we're going to hear about how Disney World had to change their Christmas celebration thinking for the holidays. And then we're going to take a look at the future and maybe put on our Imagineering caps and see what Disney World Christmas will look like in the future. Excellent, guys. So look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go discuss some future Christmas magic. Here we are on the hub, and we're about to discuss the Ghost of Christmas Future. But first, Lee has a little bit of announcement, a little bit of news that he wants to spew forth to our ears.
Oh, spew, sir, spew.
Lee, what do you got, sir?
Spew, 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 spew.
It's very unimpressive spewing.
He probably didn't take his pill.
Yeah, a little up there in age, I guess.
You got to build up that spewing.
Shooting blanks is what I'd say.
Well, he missed.
Yeah.
I don't even care about shooting blanks. I already got 3 kids. I'm good. So anyway, I asked on the first show, what happened to the Osborne lights? Are they, like off in storage somewhere? Are they, in a top secret government warehouse with the Ark of the Covenant? What happened to them? And so just, a little Google searching here and there. I don't have anything definitive, but I did come across this, which I thought was interesting. And Give Kids the World Village, Night of a Million Lights. If you're not familiar with Give Kids the World, it's a charity that helps children to visit Disney, and they can stay at their village and things like that. And anyway, apparently Disney did donate over 3 million lights to Give Kids the World for their Night of a Million Lights. Now, I couldn't find anything that specifically says these are the Osborne lights, but I would think that would be an easier thing than going out and buying 3 million lights and giving them to someone. So maybe these are the Osborne lights. I'm not, I can't verify that, but there's a few articles out there that kind of hint to that. So even if they're not, and you want to, support a good cause, you could always go check out the lights over at the Night of a Million Lights.
Nice.
And you retain that spirit of the Osborne lights as it was once.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if it's not the actual Osborne lights, it's the Osborne lights in spirit. We'll just say that.
Or it's the Osborne lights repurposed.
There you go.
Right.
2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be Lee donated all those lights since he got that gig with 1,000 bulbs as their Santa. Is that it? Did you working on a deal with 1,000 bulbs, Lee, and you donated all those lights?
1,000 bulbs.
Yeah, something like that.
You remember that 1,000bulbs.com commercial where Lee comes walking out with his sunglasses on as Santa?
Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you remember I posted that on Facebook?
I remember that.
Yeah. Hip Santa.
Yeah, hip Santa.
I like it. Well, cool, Lee. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, man. And hopefully you get some of our listeners to go check that out and let us know what they think. But anyway, let's get to it, guys. We're about to talk about the Ghost of Christmas Future, so I'm going to turn it over to Professor X, who's going to guide us on this journey. Keith, take it away.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Well, first of all, we talked about the past, then we talked about the present, and now we have to talk about the future. And first of all, we're going to talk about the very present future, including this year for 2020 and, Disney World Christmas celebrations. So, of course, everything changes here with COVID. And obviously with COVID hitting and everything shutting down in the spring, Disney had to take a hard look at the parks and decide what they would do for the holidays. So in reviewing COVID safety protocols, Disney World would have to cancel some of their signature holiday events. So I'm going to sound really negative, guys, in this next couple minutes, because I'm just going to be saying, Disney canceled this, COVID canceled that. So I'm trying not to be negative here, just trying to be realistic with everything I'm telling you guys.
Well, you're not breaking news, Keith. It happened already. We've adjusted to it. It's okay.
So strap it on, and here we go.
Yeah.
The whole world is shutting stuff down, so it's not just Disney shutting stuff down. So,
okay. So don't send your hate mail to Professor X. So just wanted to let you guys know that.
Well, no, send it to Professor X. Just
yeah.
Disney Thanksgiving on Twitter. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So.
Get all the mail, all the attention.
Yeah, just don't get mad at him. He didn't shut all this stuff down.
Yeah, if he did, he really does have mutant powers.
Right. So, of course, one of the big holiday celebrations that been started, in 1971 at Disney World and been canceled this year is the Disney World Christmas Parade. So how can you basically have a parade and have everyone 6 feet apart? You can't. So, unfortunately, that was canceled this year. But I thought it would be kind of interesting, since we can't have the parade this year, just to delve into the past, even though it's a future episode. We do a lot of time travel here, and just talk a little bit about kind of the history of the Disney World Christmas Parade. You guys good with that?
Going back to the future, you know it.
You got it, Marty.
Alrighty. So Disney World had their first parade in 1971, and doing similar off of, what I talked about in previous episodes, is that they took the footprint of what they were doing at Disneyland, since Disney World, Magic Kingdom kind of really wasn't open yet, and just kind of copied that parade, or did kind of similar aspects of it. So in 1971, their holiday parade was performed twice a day, and they performed twice a day from December 10th through January 2nd. And according to a newspaper account from that time period, the parade had marching toy soldiers. There's a tongue twister there. So now they've been establishment. They're still in the parade today. So, they're kind of a signature item.
They got them from Babes in Toyland.
Yep. It's cool. Just, how they all kind of march and sync and everything like that. So.
Have you seen some of the older pictures of them where they had what looked like little mustaches?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it looked like a little pencil line. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember seeing it, but right above the mouth, like the little circular O mouth, there's like a little line on some of these older toy soldiers. And I'm like, oh wow, they gave him a shave as time went on.
They don't have the tombstone mustaches like some toy soldiers.
No, that'd be good if they had the Hulk Hogan handlebar mustache.
A bunch of toy soldiers, brother.
Well, I kind of wish we had visuals in this podcast because, some of these old pictures of some of these characters, the first parade had, a whole bunch of old Disney, characters, but they were, 1971 dated. Mickey Mouse. I mean, even Santa Claus was super skinny. The snowmen were just, everything was just so dated, but that was the time period, 1971. Just comparing to now, it's just really interesting just to kind of see the, the difference there. And the interesting thing is in the early parades in the 1970s, and this was before a lot of the park changed and crowds were more there, but Christmas parade actually ran from Main Street and not up Main Street, kind of, making a left and hooking Liberty Square and Henningsen Frontierland, and actually went up Main Street and then it hooked a right. And then went towards, it wasn't built yet until 1975, but basically Space Mountain. And the parade actually ran through Tomorrowland.
Wow.
Okay.
So that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting,
yeah. It's a unique route, man, for sure.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe because Space Mountain wasn't there yet, you had that big empty space, they probably just had some fences and maybe just kind of run it right through there.
Oh, that's a good point.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
And then it just changed over time, because you think about it, if it kept going on the right, and then, where Space Mountain is, and let's say made a left, then you keep going into Fantasyland, and then I don't know where it would wind up. So I bet you it kind of did something like that. So, and then some of the old characters. Now you guys got to help me out if you know your Disney trivia with your characters. So some of the characters that were in the early parades that are basically no longer in existence is Bongo
the bear.
I don't know. And then there's another character called Lulabella, Lula Bella.
Wasn't she with Bongo? Wasn't that the bear that Bongo liked?
This was from Fun and Fancy Free, right?
The one where the bears would slap, bears like to slap each other?
Yeah, I think so.
What? This is short. For bears, when they say something, they smack you in it was like a whole song about domestic abuse.
I was going to say, did the bear cop show up?
There's a girl bears and bear bears.
Actually, you're right. This was from Fun and Fancy Free.
Both of them? Or just one of them?
1947, yep. And basically Bongo. It was cartoon Bongo. Okay. I guess I'd never seen that cartoon.
So this was the Ike and Tina Turner of bears.
Right, but it was a whole bunch of them. They were all just slapping the hell out of each other.
Up.
Yeah. Just bear slapping.
Just bear beating.
Because when bears say something, they say it with a slap. And they would just smack each other in the face.
Like, good morning.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a very
Why's
tough
my
way.
dinner cold?
Eat the pie.
If you think about it, I mean, in the early 70s, there was no Little Mermaid or any of these princesses. So they were basically relying on characters that were from that time period, 1960s and prior. So, and then as time progressed, obviously that's when the princes got added and, everything else. And then just to kind of go a little bit more into the history. So, in 86, they had the 15 Years of Magic. They're celebrating their celebration. So they just took that parade and just added a couple Christmas scenes, and there's your Christmas parade. And in 91, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary, the surprise celebration parade. And once again, just took the existing parade to save money and just added a couple of Christmas scenes into it. So, which, I mean, they kind of do that today with, some of their parades as well. But I feel like the Christmas parade not this year because it's canceled, but in previous years, last couple of years, it's really just a Christmas parade. It's not the daily parade and then just throwing some Christmas stuff layover into it. So I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's like the Illuminations Christmas tag, right? Same Illuminations show, but we'll tag a Christmas thing on the end. There you go. Boom, Christmas.
There it is.
Yep. So you have the parade from 71 to about 83, and that's when Disney had this great idea of let's broadcast the Christmas Day parade on television. So around this time period, obviously we're all kind of dating ourselves a little bit here, but music videos were very popular, and an enterprising Disney executive got the idea of hey, let's put this parade on television. So they took this this idea to ABC, which at the time Disney didn't own. And ABC at that time was struggling to find quality television programs on Christmas, particularly live events that would draw a large viewing audience. So the light bulb clicked together. And then on Christmas Day, 1983, the first Walt Disney World Very Merry Christmas Parade was broadcast. And they pulled some ABC stars to host the parade. So they had Joan London and Michael Douglas in 1983 to host the parade. And the parade's been broadcast, except for this year, every year on ABC, except for 2000. So they had 17 years running where they broadcast it, and they used to have it live, but then what happened is one year it rained on Christmas, and that canceled them for basically saying what's broadcast live, so they started taping it starting in around 1999. And in 2000, they decided they didn't want to broadcast the parade, so instead they broadcasted some Santa Tracker special on Christmas Eve. Instead, I'm guessing the ratings kind of went really bad.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that kind of sucked. I remember that.
I was going to say, well, you started off your parade with Joe London and Mike Douglas before he did Fatal Attraction.
That's right.
See, you couldn't do it. Like, you had to get him, like, post-Fatal Attraction. Then that'd have been
Post-Fatal.
different. Yeah. I mean, maybe that wouldn't have been a good Christmas theme, but...
Yeah, because after that, he was only known for Dangerous Blonde.
Right, exactly.
That was his career for a while.
That's wild, though. I remember when it was broadcast live. And then I remember one day I was like, this looks freaking pre-filmed. What the hell happened? You know?
Well, Kevin, they had that one time where too many people from New Orleans came down and they thought it was a Mardi Gras parade. And it was a whole different... They was doing all kinds of stuff for beads. So
what you say? We do people on Christmas?
That's the tourists that come to town to do all that Mardi Gras.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we respect Christmas down here. Make it sound like we like flash reindeer and stuff. We don't do that. Mardi Gras Day, but Christmas, I mean, not many people flash people on Christmas, do they?
When I look in the mirror and I flex, I'm happy.
You flex on Christmas.
You flash yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, learn to love yourself is the greatest gift of all.
That's right.
That's it. So that's a lot to happen though for a sense of parades and
that makes sense. It's like after a while, I was like, damn, what the hell, man? It just started being and then it just got worse with that, right?
Yeah, I used to look forward to watching the Christmas parade, kind of every year, Christmas morning, turning on and watching it so I could see like the park and, all the Disney characters and stuff. But then the late 2000s came, and then the Disney parade on television came less about the parade and more about showing the latest Disney musical acts so they could sell Disney downloads.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big synergy going on.
Yeah, I couldn't stand that. I hated that.
So they had the Santa Tracker, so that was like you don't get to see Santa. It's like, well, Santa's heading over in Australia.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's like the little Google Maps.
They always do that kind of stuff, and as a kid, you think it's entertaining, but it never was. Like, we try and get the kids like, oh, where's Santa at? Well, look at the Santa Tracker, and it's always like, oh, cool, I can pinpoint the exact time and location of where Santa's going to be, and then no, it never really works out because sometimes you look in there, it's like, oh, look, Santa's already been here. Uh-oh. Bad map.
And the parents are like, you know why? Because you were awake.
You were awake. You didn't
That's exactly it. He's coming back. That's exactly what you have to end up telling
put it on the roof.
Santa can't come while y'all are awake. That's silly. Thank God for the planes that fly overhead. Like, thank God for people who are traveling at night on Christmas. Because then the kids look at the red dots in the air. It's Rudolph! Look, right there!
Hurry up, get to bed, girl. What you doing?
Ching, 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 ching.
Thank you, traveling salesman. Miserable on a plane right now because you had to leave your family for Christmas.
Exactly.
Now, have you guys seen the... have you guys watched the parade in the last year or two? You see, like, literally a minute of the parade, and the rest is, like, the music acts.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, it's terrible. I hate it. Like,
I mean, I used to enjoy watching it back when I was growing up because it was kind of like the Macy's parade on Thanksgiving. I had a parade on Thanksgiving, had a parade on Christmas. It was Disney. And now, as the past couple of years, it's like, man, I don't watch this.
Yeah.
Say my Christmas parade.
That's every one of those specials, though. You tune in, and it's like 2 minutes of like, oh, my God, you're not going to believe what's coming over here. And now Pentatonics. And they sing some song.
It's Raven!
Well, did you see what they did for Thanksgiving this year? They did like the greatest hits of the last 5 years because because of COVID, they had nothing to broadcast. So they said, let's just show the last 5 years. No one will notice. And that's it. So
wait, Disney did that?
That's what they did for Thanksgiving. They broadcast like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So they called it, I love their names and I'm going to get into this now. So this year's show is called The Wonderful World of Disney Magical Holiday Celebration. But the names take any kind of Christmas name, and the name changed so many times over the years, and I'm going to run them through them right now. So
Wait, say that long ass name again.
Happily Merry Christmas Parade
Happily
special.
Jolly.
Yep.
Reach around Christmas, parade.
Yes, in the
corner,
pull bag,
the
cockholdness of the presents and the jingle.
The way they name these things, if you ever gone and played bingo, and they have the balls are bouncing around, and they open it up, and one shoots out. I think they're all labeled Jolly, Celebration, Festival, Merry, and the first 5 that come out, they're like, okay, it's the Jolly, Unbelievable Festival of Magical Holiday Fun.
Come on, Mary! Come on, Mary!
Or Danny, how do you think they're naming the cruise ships? You know, like throwing Wish, Stream, Magic. You know what I mean? Like they're all the same way.
Oh yeah, they're named after strippers. Next is gonna be the Epiphany, and
hey, she was good. Okay, don't judge her.
And Face. And Pixie.
It was a good discount. Yeah, Pixie. Yes,
Pixie's coming down the aisle.
Yeah, let me run down the names now, but I'm not going to give the years. Just so you know, we have the Disney Holiday Parade, Very Merry Christmas Parade. So then we have Mickey's Christmas Cavalcade, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Parade, Walt Disney World Christmas Day Parade, Disney Parks Christmas Day Parade. So they changed it from Mickey's to Walt Disney World to Disney Parks. Then you have Disney Parks Frozen Christmas Celebration, Disney Parks Unforgettable Christmas Celebration, Magical Christmas Celebration, the Disney Parks Magical Christmas Celebration, and last year was Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade.
Well, what about Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade?
Well, that's the actual parade, but it's not. But they actually didn't call the show. These are the names of what they broadcast.
I got you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got you.
This year was the magically disappearing We Ain't Having One parade.
Well, actually, this year's name is another change: Disney Parks Magical Christmas Celebration. So instead of, well, actually, they used that name in 2018, but yeah, so they're actually going to have a couple acts, but it's people I never heard of, and this year they might actually show some of the parks because they talked about showing the Remy ride over at Epcot, so we'll see.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool, yeah.
They always say that, and they give you like a 30-second clip of, oh my God, we're so excited, and they show like little things in the ride, but they don't really show the ride, and then boom, cut to a musical act for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, like they did that the other year when they were, right, when they talk about Star Wars, and they just showed you like the art, the concept of it.
That's
like,
it.
You're going to love this.
And they show you like a little, and it's like one little scene where they kind of walk through a little bit, you get to, and
Done.
Yeah. They're like, now here comes Sierra doing the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, no, I want to see about the park.
Well, I can tell you what, on Christmas Day, their big thing's going to be Soul on Disney Plus, the movie that's coming out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then competing with that is, what is that, Wonder Woman 84 or something like that?
1984, yeah.
Yeah, on HBO Max, I believe.
I don't know. You know, I think I would go with Soul over on that. Like if I had to choose, Soul.
I'm gonna watch both.
I'm definitely gonna watch both.
But yeah, on Christmas Day, that's gonna be their big thing. I'm sure they're gonna push.
Let's hope it goes as good as Onward.
Hey,
I liked Onward. I did. It just didn't work out so well for them.
Yeah, it was such a weird time for them to release
it. Really,
unfortunately. I mean, they didn't plan on that.
Yeah, no.
Well, COVID kind of just took everything over. But so, did you guys happen to catch this one last show while we're talking about kind of Disney Christmas shows? I saw this the other day, and actually, I thought it was a great idea. I loved it. I don't know if any of you caught it. Did you see the Disney Holiday Magic Quest?
Is that like Disney Quest and Downtown Disney?
No. So what it is they took the Disney Channel Zombie 2 movie stars. So they took.
Oh wait! These are when they're doing stuff in the parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that because my kids were watching it.
Yeah, it was like The Amazing Race meets The Magic Kingdom. I thought it was pretty cool. Danny, you would like it. They were inside the Haunted Mansion on the ballroom floor.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
I would like that. What was that again? What is that?
So it's on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus or Disney Channel. It's called the Disney Holiday Magic Quest. And basically not to give the whole thing away, but some of the Disney villains come over and they steal holiday magic. And the cast of the Disney Channel from Zombies 2 is in the park. They're the only ones in the park. So you have a lot of cool shots of the park empty. And then the villains turn off the lights, so it's really dark. And they have to do all these like challenges before all the holiday magic goes away forever. So they go in the Haunted Mansion. You'll really like it, Dan. You got to check it out.
Is scripted?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's scripted, but it's kind of like they do different challenges.
I'll put it this way. It's kind of like as real as a reality show would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that like the storyline is that they've done this, but then when they have to do something, it's like, I don't know, like watching Double Dare or...
That's what I was thinking.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, where they have to do some kind of challenge. And
yeah, to restore the holiday magic from the Evil Queen and Maleficent, they have to do all these tasks. and stuff to get it to happen.
And the tasks kind of tie into different rides.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were in I saw one where they were in the lagoon in front of the castle, and they were in boats and trying to collect stuff or whatever. There's things that they had to pick up. It was kind of cool. I watched it.
Are they teams?
Yeah, they were paired up. Yeah.
All right. I was kind of curious how the competition aspect of that worked.
Yeah, it's red versus green. Christmas colors. So
Grinch versus Santa.
you have to check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, my kids were watching that, and I was like, "What the hell is this?
Like, why are kids diving in the lagoon?
Why are they doing? Like, I want to do that."
Hey, that's what you thought.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You watch the show. Come back. Tell me. Would you pay $1,000 for that experience? Probably more. But anyway, check it out.
Yeah, probably pay less for that though than you would to stay at that Star Wars hotel.
That's true.
Yes, indeed.
True. Well, we'll get to the Star Wars Hotel in a minute here, but let's go back into the present, future. I don't even know where we are anymore here, but let's talk about another thing that got canceled is the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a big one because that's a big moneymaker, for Disney World, and that's kind of one of their signature items. But you can't really have a party with COVID, and you knew that was going to happen after they canceled the Halloween party.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the Halloween party to me was the greater loss because I thought it was the better party, but this is still a pretty huge loss. I mean, I was at the one from 2019 last year. Yeah, it's a big loss, man. It was. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, did you enjoy your party experience, comparing it to the Halloween one?
No, I mean, because it rained on us most of the time that we were there.
Okay, well, that kind of puts a damper in it.
Yeah, it very much damper. It's a good choice of words. We were definitely damper than what we walked in. But no. For the most part, they did a good job. The characters were still out and about. They canceled the parade, and they canceled the fireworks and all that stuff like that.
You were getting a prequel basically to this year, Danny, then.
Pretty much. They even gave us like a what do you call it? One of those little cards when you walk out, like, we're so sorry. Here, look. A day of park admission free on us. Yeah,
wow.
That's cool.
I still have it upstairs where they gave that to us, and it's been applied to our account. So anytime we want, we can go ahead and reuse that again. But yeah, no, it was a good experience. I mean, I've been to the parade. I'll be honest with you. I think I've been to the Christmas party more than I've been to the Halloween party, just because we always seem to go collectively around Christmas. So, yeah, I'm a little bit more familiarized with it. It's just that I don't like outside of the parade itself, I'm not sure, like the castle show that they do, not a fan. I like the projection effects and everything they do. That's beautiful, but the music is kind of, like they had Clarabelle Cow singing Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas." If you can get that image in or out of your head, it's kind of tough to do.
All I want for Christmas is moon.
I was waiting.
I thought about saying that, but I was like, I don't want no piece of that.
Then they had like a ho 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 down.
Okay.
No, wait. Ho 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 down.
Oh, you got Eli's attention on that one.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, where's Exquisite now? And
don't get your hopes up. There's a bunch of those damn Hostess cupcakes or whatever.
That's all it was.
There's those ho hos.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's false advertising.
Well, they still squirt when you squeeze it, so it's all good.
Because of the way you squeeze it, right?
Lee like that.
And then, if I remember correctly, they brought out the Three Caballeros, which immediately told you that the next song was going to be
Feliz Navidad.
There you go.
Couldn't see that coming.
Not at all. But I mean, the finale was good. But I mean, other than that, like, I did not like that. I did not. They had the Tomorrowland show, which I thought sucked.
I never attended these.
You really?
Yeah, I've never attended the Christmas party. Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere is beautiful. Main Street is gorgeous. The parade's wonderful. I mean, that song burrows itself into your brain. You can't forget it. Eli and I were just singing it constantly when we were there that one time. Remember when we were sitting on the side little street off of Main Street, that little side street with the caricatures and stuff?
Yeah.
Eli and I were sitting down there just chilling as the parade went through and just listening. We were just like, once upon a Christmas. Yeah, you just had it stuck in your head.
Stuck in your head, yes.
Anyway, so yeah, no, it's a fun time. It's a fun but there's more activities at Halloween that I think are a lot more fun.
Well, they don't give out the candy like they do at Halloween, do they?
Well, no, but you get like complimentary cookies,
hot chocolate,
and like hot
stuff?
chocolate, cocoa, that kind of thing. I think they had cider there.
But you got to go into the stores and whatnot. Like, you kind of have to hunt for it. Halloween is more like it finds you. Like, everywhere you're going, you're going to have like characters interacting with you.
It's out there in your face.
Yeah, it's more immersive if I had to put a word to it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, I know we're going to kind of talk about like future, plans, but do you think this year they could have pulled off a party minus the parade and minus the fireworks?
I was just thinking about that. I mean, obviously it's hindsight is 2020, but if they can get people in the parks to, socially distance and to, space themselves out in queue lines and to figure all that out, I would imagine they could have done it. Now, the question is, did they have enough staff to do it? Because they have so many people laid off. You've got to bring people, separate people in that night to work the party. Would they have made enough money on it? And also, how would that have looked on Disney's part to say, well, we're trying to squeeze a little more money out of you. Let's take a risk on everyone being squished together in the park for these hours. So I think it was more a calculated decision to say, let's not push it. Let's take this one step at a time. If COVID is what it is right now, a year from now, damn it, knock on wood, please don't be there. But if for whatever reason it is, maybe then they'll say, okay, well, we've learned some lessons over the last year, and here's how we can do this safely. But I understand why they would not have done it this year. I think it would have looked bad on their part if they did. I think it would have looked like a money grab.
I couldn't concur more. I think Lee did a pretty fair job of analyzing it from a business sense. I would say from if I'm paying to go to this party and you don't have the fireworks and you don't have the parade, it's hard to justify that much money for. I mean, and then if you can't have the parade, then why are you going to be having all these castle shows or all these dance party things? You can't do that either then. So, I mean, basically you're taking, once you go down that rabbit hole, yeah, you're taking everything away. But, I mean, if I'm just answering the question in a vacuum where there is no parade and there is no fireworks, and yeah, there is no me. if I got to be honest with you, I mean, it's always good to ride the Magic Kingdom ride rides in the Magic Kingdom when hardly anyone else is there, and that was always one of the greater things about going to the party is the character meet and greets, which they can't do now with rare characters, and being able to step on rides that you would normally wait in line an hour to get on, and that's That's a draw, no doubt about it, but not that much of a draw where I would pay that much money
for what you get.
For what I get, I mean, as it is, they're already limiting the people who are going to be in the parks to begin with. And there is no fast passes anymore either.
Yeah, it's just non-festive pretty much.
So other cancellations that they did, and actually to your point, Lee, so I took a look at the Christmas Day hours, and I compared it to last year, and the Magic Kingdom's losing 2 hours of park time, and Epcot's basically closing 90 minutes earlier than they did in 2019.
That's not too bad, honestly. I mean, to me, that's reasonable. How late are they staying open? Till like 9 instead of 11?
They basically closed at 10. They were open at midnight.
Okay. So, I mean, staying up until 10 o'clock right now when they've been closing at like 7, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, less crowds and stuff like that. So, a couple other things that they canceled. We talked about a lot of these in the last couple of shows. Is they canceled the, those dream lights that they put over the castle. It just didn't make sense this year to, put them up with COVID and everything.
Time out. That's one thing I don't get. Why does that not make sense?
What, the dream lights or the fireworks?
The dream lights.
Probably just from a cost-saving perspective, I would think.
I mean, all the castle lights are there for you to do is just ogle as you pass by. I mean, that's one thing I didn't understand them bringing back. Unless it was just like the manpower it took to put it all up, but I don't know. I don't know that many people that would. I mean, you're gonna stand there and stare at the castle because now they do those projection effects every 15 minutes on the castle, and you're gonna stand there and stare at that just the same. To me, the castle, the lights were just beautiful. I don't understand why that's something that because of COVID we couldn't have.
Maybe because of crowding or something.
But why?
Well, they're still getting a lot of crowding on Main Street right now as the lights get turned on and things like that. People are anticipating the lights getting turned on, and they are gathering a lot on Main Street.
So your argument is that even though it already is happening, then why are they doing that?
I mean, you've made the castle an attraction in and of itself by changing its appearance every 15 minutes. And so you got people just standing around, ogling it, waiting for that to happen. What's the freaking difference between hanging a bunch of lights that people have already seen?
I think it has to be a cost thing, like of the extra lights and the manpower to put them up. And
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It has to be.
So, I mean, to the same point, I mean, it makes sense to cancel the fireworks because a lot of people are going to stand together in one spot and, in front of the castle, look at the lights. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, maybe the dream lights are at Give Kids the World. I don't know.
Yeah. Now we figured it out.
Maybe they sent it over
That's
there.
some extra billion.
It's like somebody's like, where'd those dream lights go? I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Whoops.
Why?
That's what that meant on that box.
We didn't check it.
Funny story.
Osborns. No.
Hey, boss, funny story.
Where are my lights at?
Go get them from the cribs. Man, I can't just walk in there and take their lights.
Plus, they're wrestling.
It was Give Kids the World. No, take it from them. Straight up. But it does make you nervous that they did away with it for pretty much like, is that something that maybe they do away with permanently now and just do the projection?
That was one of the points I was going to talk about as far as in the future, and let's talk about it now. Like, they have to put up the crane, and it takes up about a month in September or whatever. Is this an indication, or are the lights, like you said, Danny, are the lights going away? And they're just going to use projections now?
In this Disney environment, I'd say it's a very real possibility. With the people who are running things, do they use this as an opportunity to say, hey, it's easier to do it like this?
Cost effective. We could change it whenever. It doesn't cost much.
People seem to like it.
Which is a shame because the lights are pretty. I have that as a background on my phone. My lock screen on my phone.
We said it on the previous show that we recorded. There's no substitution for practical effects. You watch the best CGI movies and you can still tell that's CGI. But when you see something real happening, it catches the eye. Those projection effects are nice the closer you get up. And it's like, okay, it's cool, but it's nothing like that castle shimmering. It's not even,
especially when you see it the first time, the projection that is.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, I'm over it. You know, what are they going to do? Just change another slide? Like, oh, look, now we got something different. Now we got reindeer. Like, no.
I mean, the tech looks cool, but it doesn't match to the lights, I don't think.
But that's the thing with all these projection shows. It's like, all right, look at all our pretty projection effects now with 75% less fireworks.
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is basically watching a TV screen on the castle.
Yeah. But Danny, to your point, the light bulb just went off in my head, and it doesn't go off very often. I don't think you could do the projection and have the dream lights at the same time. I bet you there's a reason why. It probably distorts something with the projection.
No, because I've seen Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration show, and they are projection affecting on...
Projection affecting.
Projection.
Conjunction function.
What's your function?
What's your function?
They're totally projecting onto the castle. There's no question. No, yeah, you could see the castle changes, and they have imagery on the castle. It's totally projection effects that you could do while the lights are lit. I mean, well, I guess you would just turn the lights off.
They turned the lights off, yeah, and they projected, yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
All right. To go ahead and crush my light bulb there. I tell you, it only happens every once in a while, but that's okay.
Sorry, Figment.
Hey, look, when your light bulb's out, we're going to project something onto you.
Right.
A light bulb.
Okay.
And you had a bad bulb, sir. You had a very bad bulb.
It's the kid's fault.
So other things that they canceled, and this one kind of makes sense, is the Epcot Holiday Storytellers. And I'll talk about in a second what they did to kind of replace that this year, which is very interesting. And then they canceled we kind of talked about this a little bit in the last episode. A lot of the gingerbread houses kind of at the big resorts like the Grand Floridian, because of COVID. And another big thing they canceled, which is also one of the big signature items over at Epcot, and this is because you can't really get any celebrities who want to go down to Epcot now, travel to basically, be the host of it, is the Candlelight Processional. So, there you lose your Candlelight Processional dining packages, that kind of thing. But, I mean, that had a lot of people all together at once as a choir, too, so...
They should just get local celebrities to come by, like Carol Baskins and Tiger King.
Yeah, like B and C celebrities, right?
You can't get Michael Douglas back. He probably would love to do this now.
Get the skunk ape from Gatorland.
Yeah, skunk ape.
Yeah, so so that was canceled, and Disney actually, which I thought was kind of nice, so they just put on their Disney Parks blog. So if you kind of miss the Candlelight Processional or you miss the fireworks, they have encore performances on the Disney Parks blog, so you can watch it there or just go to YouTube and you can find 10,000 recordings of it as well. So now that I kind of talked about everything that was canceled, let's flip the switch and not be so negative and talk about everything that Disney World canceled for the holidays, and let's be positive and let's talk about their new holiday experiences that they're doing for this year.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah.
Positive.
Plus sign. Plus sign.
Yeah.
Plus.
Light bulb.
Plus sign.
Positively Professor X.
So the first thing that they're doing is new festive Cinderella castle projections. So these are new projections on the castle.
Okay.
Yeah. Projections.
Fancy dancy.
Positive projections.
So, I mean, these are basically state-of-the-art projections. They have like a Christmas sweater look. They have a jeweled winter castle. So maybe that's your replacement for the, the castle lights. They have festive stripes and dots. and turn the castle red and greens. I mean, I think it looks pretty good for this year, the projections. And then Disney saving money is every 15 minutes when they do this projection, they fire off one single burst of fireworks. Now, I have to ask you, though, if you get into the park and you're not aware of this, and you're watching the projection show, and then they launch this boom of a firework, don't you think that would scare the heck out of you if you didn't know it was going to happen?
Scares the out of my wife when I shoot off one burst.
Yeah.
That scares me too.
Yeah. That beard burst. Yeah.
Wait a minute. It scares Lee's wife too when you shoot.
Well, they should. Kevin always double shoots.
That's why I call Lee Admiral Boom.
Boom.
No.
Boom goes the dynamite.
I've seen it when they do it. It's not a boom. Yeah, that would probably freak out a couple of kids if you're just walking. It just sounds like a boom, go right.
Right.
But it's more like a.
Oh yeah, it's not
like
scary.
They got pills for that, right?
Yes, they do. They do. It's like sparkles coming up.
Sleep
around,
helps.
Like, yeah.
Yay, sparkles!
Sparkles.
Yay!
I'm not a fan of the sweater look on the castle. Like, isn't that kind of hard to even like? If you didn't put that description in there, I would have never known what that was.
So I take it, Eli, you're not a big ugly sweater fan, ugly Christmas sweater fan.
No, my clothes is stylish.
He's a stylish sweater fan.
No, ugly sweater that costs too much.
He gets that from the Eagle.
That's it. That's right. I do it.
This man wears Marvel t-shirts with holes in it.
Exactly. Because they exploded.
I remember. I was there.
That's a souvenir you don't give up.
That's where they got that idea? Is that one firecracker in your armpit?
Yeah, the one that it blew up my shirt.
Yeah,
so I
boom.
kept it. That's a projection for you.
So that was
Tell you
Disney's
what.
testing that. Oh, that's excellent.
That's it. Why don't they cast like the characters or something on there? Like, just like, like what they do on the other different shows or something.
Because I don't think it would look as good.
You don't think so?
If you watch what they do with the Halloween fireworks show now, like the characters are on there and you're watching them interact because it's like a story that they're telling. But like this is just the castle just looking festive.
Yeah.
So it would be weird if like you jumbled it up with like a Mickey eyeball and a Donald, Bill. It just would look like, I don't know.
It'd be like an ugly sweater.
Sure, they could just make it a big Santa hat.
I don't know if it would quite fit that.
No, but it looked kind of funny, though. It made me laugh.
This big cotton ball.
Yeah, you stand at the other end of Main Street, you see this big red Santa hat in the middle of the park.
I mean, it's not like when they made Epcot Mike Wazowski, where it just worked because
Right.
of
He's
the
a ball,
roundness of
yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah, so let's talk about, so instead of parades, let's talk about cavalcades.
Cavalcade.
So they have different holiday-themed character cavalcades, and they actually changed the name of each of the different parks. But let's talk about the cavalcades first. That's just a fun word to say, cavalcade.
It is. Isn't it a fun word?
It
I
is.
like saying cavalcade.
I like hearing it.
Yeah.
Cavalcade.
How you doing? I have a cavalcade, please.
That'd be like, hey, girl, you want to get together tonight? We'll have some libations, maybe a little cavalcade right
Yeah.
afterward.
There you go.
What?
It just sounds like, what is a cavalcade? That sounds so cute and fun.
Did you say cavalcade? I like that.
So they have 3 cavalcades at the Magic Kingdom. They have a goofy one, Santa, and Mickey and characters, dressed in their holiday festive gear. So that's what you can see at the Magic Kingdom. Now, my issue with these cavalcades is that they're not planned, so you just have to be at the right spot at the right time to see them.
Well, if they were planned, then people would stand there waiting for them.
That's right.
Right.
And there would be a parade.
Yes.
Right, but the thing is, like, you could go in the Magic Kingdom at 3 o'clock, you can see a parade. Here, if you're on Space Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain, you can miss it, and how do you then explain to your kid, like, well, Santa was here, but now we have to wait around all day, but we can't wait around because of COVID. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, you say you could have seen Santa, but no, you had to go ride Space Mountain. Now Santa thinks you don't care.
You better get him some extra cookies.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just random. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think obviously that's the point of it, is that they can't do parades because people are just going to stand, pop a squat an hour before, and so when you don't know when they're going to be, then you can't do that, and that's the whole point. And I haven't experienced it myself because I haven't been back since COVID, but I would kind of think that's a cool thing. Like, oh man, I just happened upon this cavalcade that was passing by. Just like the same thing, like you turn the corner and there's Pinocchio out in the street or whatever. It's kind of the same concept of, you can't plan for it. You just have to luck into it. And it's a special experience because you were at the right place at the right time.
That's that is the classic Disneyland versus Disney World character question, where you're just wandering around Disneyland and all of a sudden, next thing you know, out pops Aladdin and Jasmine right next to you, and you're like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? And they start striking up a conversation with you. Or Peter Pan just comes up and sits next to you on a bench, where they're not advertised. They just show up, and they'll just walk around just talking to people. And it's like, oh my God, look, Peter Pan just walked right by us. And that's more fun than, all right, at 3:15 exactly, we have to be in line because it starts at 3:30 and they don't take anybody out. It's more fun to me when the magic is spontaneous.
Yes.
Some people prefer the planned aspect of it and knowing that they're going to get exactly what they want, exactly when they want it. I like the randomness of, like that guy, the cat Gideon from Pinocchio walked by and it was a big deal. And I still remember it. And it was, ask me I could give you 50 characters who I'd like to meet in Disneyland. Gideon would not have been in that 50 list. But the fact that he just randomly came up to us and started like taking our phone and taking pictures with us and stuff, boom, special.
That's very cool, yeah.
Some of the other, no longer cavalcades, but now here, guys, this is a southern term, and I'll probably destroy the pronunciation of flotillas.
Flotillas.
Flotillas. All right. So I'm not going to say that one many times because I like saying cavalcade's better, but that's Animal Kingdom. And this one I think is kind of cool because it's more in a boat. So they travel around Discovery River, and there's a couple different boats here. They have Mickey and Friends in holiday outfits. They have a Donald's Dino boat, which has Donald in dinosaur party attire. And then they have one with Goofy, Chip, and Dale, and one with Santa Claus, and the Discovery Island drummers as well. So that's just going around Discovery Island. And that one, I guess, you can probably see better than more just these cavalcades at the Magic Kingdom would show up like in Fantasyland or whatever. If you're in the right spot at Discovery River, there's a lot more spots where I think you could see this, these boats going around, and you could probably hear the music than this random little float going through like Fantasyland or whatever.
What exactly is dinosaur party attire? Is that like bones with a skirt? Or
well, you walk the dinosaur first of all.
Okay.
Yeah. After you open the door and get on the floor, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Yeah, everybody should do the dinosaur. Yeah. I just was curious about is there a festive thing you got to wear like a suit and tie with your little arms out or something?
Captain Caveman or
Flintstone style.
There you go.
Okay.
Ice Age kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. I don't need shoes.
And you got a T-Rex everything.
Still, would that mean just jump on it?
Yeah.
All right.
Jump on it. Jump on it.
Yeah.
As long as you got a flotilla. Isn't that your girlfriend's name, Flotilla?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Flozilla. That was the nickname. Yeah. Because she used to rap and she scared you at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of like that one firework every 15 minutes.
Yeah, get your head more boom to it.
Boom.
Yes. I don't think I need to see Santa Claus in the Animal Kingdom.
No,
I'd be curious to see what that would be like, to just look down upon the jungle and see the waters, and then there's Santa just waving as he comes floating by in a flotilla.
Yeah, the flotilla.
How about Santa and a pirogue?
Yeah, right.
They do that. That is a thing.
They do that.
You see that with Santa and a pirogue. Why don't you explain what a pirogue is for all of our listeners out there, Kev?
A pirogue is it's kind of like a canoe, but it's even skinnier, and it's a shallow draft. Made for navigating swamps down here in South Louisiana. So it's a very shallow draft boat.
And here in New Orleans, where they have to Cajuanize everything, Santa's in a pirogue, and his pirogue is being pulled by
alligators.
Yes. Flying.
Is that your Cajun Christmas?
That is some people's Cajun Christmas. I don't need my Cajun and everything. Some people need their culture to be brought in. Sometimes it's...
See, Santa Claus stops down here to eat. So, I mean...
of course. Yeah, that's why he drops off all the good gifts.
I don't mind people culture being brought into some stories, like Blackula. That was awesome.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Have you seen Blackula the sequel?
I have not seen the sequel.
You're missing out.
I'm missing out. So sometimes it works out good. The Wiz was a good one. Man.
Yeah,
but,
yes.
I don't need everything. Santa Claus is fine by itself.
Maybe Santa in Flights of Wonder. I might have been interested.
Flying on a bird?
Like he got gifts and like freaking vulture comes in and steals the gift or something, and then or
drops it on your head.
Yeah, or takes his $20, or the bald eagle comes out and Santa Claus is holding it, something like that.
Yeah, but then the kids would hate the bird. Say, ho, 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 I've got presents for you, little soul. The bird just took it.
I think that would have made for a pretty cool Christmas story.
Except for when Susie's sitting there crying because She doesn't get any gifts from Santa.
The eagle brings it back to her or something. I don't know. I'm just saying,
the chicken brings it back up.
Yeah, the chicken brings the pigeons fly back down with it.
That's right.
I think that's just awesome way of.
So the eagle's cool. It's a falcon that's a dick.
It's just, yeah, I know you're right. I like the falcon
the
too.
finch that stole Christmas.
You son of a finch, you. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's me personally.
It's like a Christmas version of that show.
Yeah,
a holiday version. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a thought just because of the birds and the live interaction with that. But go on, sir.
Okay. We got cavalcades and flotillas.
Flotilla on, sir.
All right.
So now, Danny, what do you think of seeing Santa in a promenade over at Epcot going around World Showcase?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Depends on what country, though, right?
Well, I would be worried about Santa in some countries. I would say that.
Yeah, you go.
But for the most, no, I think that's kind of cool. The idea that Santa would go all over the world. I mean, that's how kids think about it. I mean, kids don't put Santa, like you're told Santa goes to all the little boys and girls all over the world. They don't know that there are people out there that would not believe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be careful in case somebody's sitting in the car with their kid right now. So I don't want to say anything. But
they like to put,
you know what I'm saying?
They put Santa in the corner, basically.
Santa. Nobody put Santa in the corner.
Except for those people.
Yeah, they did that.
And if you're listening to us in the car and you got a kid in there, what's wrong with you?
Try to raise their kid up right.
We bleep as best as we can, but
we did good.
Flotilla.
Flotilla.
So we have cavalcades, flotillas, promenades, and now we have motorcades.
Now we're talking.
So we have motorcades over at Hollywood Studios, and now Santa Claus gets to ride in style in a fancy car.
Or a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Isn't that sweet? That's sweet, isn't it?
I got a new car, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice. Very nice, sleek.
Again, you're trying too hard, guys. And Santa doesn't need to be in a car.
Well, there should always be something mystical around Santa. I
agree. It shouldn't be like we're going to wedge Santa like. And I'm sure Keith will get to this, but I saw him like he's over at Disney Springs, like zipping around in a boat.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So cavalcades, flotillas, promenades, motorcades, and now we have Santa's Winter Watercade. I love these names over at Disney Springs.
He water skis? Now that's kind of awesome.
No, so there's a boat in front of him, and the boat is seemed to look like the reindeer. And it's like that boat is pulling the second boat, which is made to look like Santa's sleigh.
Okay, gotcha.
And now Mrs. Claus and Santa are in it.
And the boat now,
the boats are not that far to get up together. They're kind of they're a good size space apart, but the idea of it is kind of cool. But it just looks so hokey. Like, to me, like, if I'm a kid, I'm like, why is Santa on a boat? Like, don't you got work to do at the North Pole? I just saw you in a car.
Right. Why is he now at Disney Springs, right?
That's a good point.
Helicopters at Blizzard Beach?
Santa everywhere.
They need to have Santa pulled by the Thunder in Paradise boat.
Oh, wow. Some big, powerful speedboat.
See how long that lasts.
Oh, he should just be driving it. And then, like, they got, like, somebody in the reindeer outfit, like, water skiing with it. Yeah. See, like, you know, like, you go, like, spice it up. You know what I mean? Like, you get it. You have normal, because that's, like, an overflow of Santa. This is, like, watering down poor Santa.
I agree with you.
You know? You should have, like, if you're going to have Santa, all these places, each Santa should be doing something different. Not necessarily be in a different environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, he was gonna be in the motorcade, he should be like on a stunt cycle or something. Like, you know, like, dang, Santa's cool. He could deliver all them gifts. He could, like, fly that motorcycle 100 feet in the air, or it's just something to give Santa a spectacular look.
Like doing a split between two 18-wheelers.
That's what I'm talking, right? Like some transporter stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Santa into Evil Knievel?
Yeah. Would you not see that?
Kaboom.
If you, yeah, right? Santa Kaboom.
Santa Kaboom. That's right. Santa's posing. Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's what he says. Instead of grunts, he goes, ooh, ho, ho, ooh. What's Santa doing? He's posing.
Ha! Yeah, I mean, you know, at least make Santa a character in the world, and just not him just being like a tourist almost. That's almost what it sounds like. But
yeah, I just looked at pictures of that. That's weird.
Which part? The
boat? Wintercade? Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty weird to look at.
That's special.
But I mean, you can't really meet Santa, so it's the best way to kind of for the kids to see Santa because you can't actually go and sit on his lap or whatever. So
Is it the way you want kids to see Santa?
That's a good point.
I mean,
man.
that's the thing. Like, you know, I could see Santa's got to make time out of his day to come from the North Pole to sit down with you so you can tell him what he wants so he can get back up there and make it. But if I'm watching Santa zipping around in a boat and freewheeling it down Hollywood Boulevard, I'm like, you got work to do. Get my ready.
You got 1 month supposed to do this right.
Wintercade, interesting. Okay. What is there anything else?
all right, so that's pretty much your cavalcades, motorcades, flotillas, parades, whatever you want to call them. So let's flip the switch a little bit. Let's talk about COVID's gone now, hopefully, next year.
It is? All right. I'm done.
Ladies is.
I've only been doing this podcast until this shit's over.
About to breathe on some ladies now.
All right.
All right, so COVID's gone, and Disney World is now planning their holiday celebrations for next year. So obviously, they're going to bring back the Mickey's, Very Merry Christmas Parade, and they're going to bring back the Candlelight Procession. Do we think they're going to bring back castle lights, or are these projections on the castle basically going to be replaced that?
They got to still have lights. Now, the lights may not be as expansive. They may not be as impressive. But you cannot have Christmas without Christmas lights. I mean, people decorate their house with Christmas lights. They decorate their trees with Christmas lights. You cannot have no Christmas lights.
I'm not saying they're going to take away all the decorations that they have on Main Street and everything. It's just the actual specific lights on the castle.
I still think the castle is going to have some lights. I still got to say it's got to have some lights.
I can see them doing it. Am I predicting that's what they're going to do? No. But knowing how they operate now.
Well, Danny, look at like the Osborne lights. They got rid of the Osborne lights, and now they have that jingle, bam, jingle thing over at Hollywood Studios, and that's basically projection.
Yep. I remember we talked about that the other week. It was with jingle, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That was about it. That's what happened to the Osborne lights. And, I mean, you saw them get rid of the lights, that archway in Epcot.
Yeah, the lights of winter, yep.
They don't like that kind of thing. And I could see them do it. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I would say the Dream Lights return. But would I be knocked over if they did not? No. I think corporate greed somehow, it could win out, and they could be like, all right, let's test this out full time. Let's really do some really cool projection effects on this castle that people would really enjoy. I don't think people want to get their picture taken in front of a castle that's going to have to look like a freaking amalgamated sweater. But the Dreamlight Castle, absolutely. So that's why I'm going to give it the edge that they bring it back. But they've done stupid things before.
See, I think what's going to happen is you're not going to see the castle at all. What you're going to get is you're going to get 1, maybe 5 different executives handing out people Viewmasters. And on the Viewmaster reels is going to be pictures of the castle with all the various effects on it. Each person just clicks on the Viewmaster. That may as well just be the most cost-effective way to do it.
And if you purchase Disney Photo Pass, they take a picture of you and your family in front of a green screen.
There it is.
And they insert you,
there you go.
in front of the castle, on the Haunted Mansion, wherever you want.
With Figment sitting on your shoulder and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, yeah.
Put you on Splash Mountain with the Bluebird on your shoulder.
Tiana,
That's
more
the truth.
likely. Yes, it.
You get it shipped in a $40 frame, right?
Exactly. I mean, why not just go that way?
I think it's totally possible. I don't think that's incredulous at all to suggest.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're going to project the lights onto the castle.
Yeah.
They're going to project the Dreamlight effects onto the castle, and then that's it. And then they'll change the lights however they want.
Periodically, Tinkerbell will just fly across the castle. Mickey will stick his head out of a window, look around a little bit.
And it'll become a Christmas tree of some sort.
There you go.
Yeah.
Big old spotlight here and there.
I can see all that.
I could totally see all that.
Yeah, I think to Lee's point, though, they'll put some lights on the castle, but it won't be like they did before, and then they'll just do the projections. I think that's what they're going to do. Another point is, by them putting up the lights, they have to have this big crane in front of, like, Cinderella Castle sometime in September for, like, a month. And who wants your picture in front of Cinderella Castle in that time period with a big crane in the background? But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting just to see, so... And then another thing I was kind of thinking about, and I just want to use this, another experience I had. So I stayed in a Great Wolf Lodge in September, and I don't know, have any of you guys ever been to like a Great Wolf Lodge?
No, I've been wanting to, though.
We didn't stay there, but we went for the day.
Okay. So Great Wolf Lodge has this big indoor water park, and they have, it's kind of a wilderness theme, and they have this morning show and this evening show, which is like audio animatronics, but, like bear themed or whatever. So with COVID, they pre-recorded the show and they played it on your TV. So we could still watch the show, but no one was grouping up in the front, in the lobby, gathering, watching the show. So I'm wondering if Disney's going to start doing that a little bit going forwards. They're doing it now a little bit. And just to give you an example, so for New Year's Eve, the parks are closing at 10 o'clock. So there's no big New Year's celebrations, no fireworks or whatever. So what they're having to do is the resort guests that are staying on Disney property can watch a recording of virtual fireworks. So I'm kind of are they going to start implementing that going forwards a little bit, where you can have these pre-recorded shows on your TV, like at the resort versus actually having the event?
I just go to sleep. Like, why would I want to watch that? Why would I want to watch that on TV? I mean, I guess it's an option because people do it at home all the time on New Year's. They watch the Rockin' New Year's Eve or whatever. So I guess that's an option, but why would I just go to sleep.
Yeah, but you would do it like once a year, like for New Year's, because it's marking a moment. Are you necessarily going to do it on your Disney vacation just because it's the end of the night? Hey, we got to get back because the TV's running, the fireworks.
No, I'm not talking the fireworks. So instead of having like performers in the lobby, like singing Christmas carols or something, they'll just have a pre-recording of it.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's like, hey, would you pay to go see, like, I don't know, the name of, like, the Rolling Stones in person? Would you go watch? Yes, I'd absolutely go watch it. Would you watch a pre-recorded video of them performing their set? Maybe not so much.
What about holograms?
Oh, I totally see holograms. I love the hologram thing.
To be fair, there was a lot of that going on this year. Like, there was a drive-in theater by us, and they would show, whoever, New Kids on the Block in concert or whatever, and you'd pay to go see it. And it's a big field, so they could space everyone out evenly and things like that. And people, they paid to see a quote unquote concert on the screen. So I don't know. I mean, we're laughing about it now, but this could be the new thing now.
Well, I think people were just desperate to get out at one point in time, and now that you can kind of get out a little bit, maybe, I don't know, perhaps, I suppose, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to go out to, like, I wouldn't go to a movie theater to see a pre-recorded concert. I wouldn't go to a movie theater to go see Disney fireworks. I would go to a movie theater to see a movie that I really wanted to go see. I don't see that being the case here. Like, there are just some things you need to be in person for, to feel it.
Fireworks is definitely one of them. Yeah.
I'll give you an example, Danny. What if you're staying at the Polynesian and Disney's cutting back entertainment costs, so they no longer have the Polynesian? You know how they light the torches around? What if instead of that, they no longer have those performers and they just show like a recorded on your TV? It's a way for Disney to save money. Now, granted, it's not the same experience, but
I'd watch it on YouTube before I showed up.
Yeah.
Somebody would record it. I'd watch it on YouTube. I get the same experience and not lose a minute worrying about what's on TV like I normally do while I'm at Disney. I'll go to the room, I'll throw on Stacy, and I'll pass out.
Oh,
like
boy.
I always do.
Okay, now watching Stacy pre-record is always a treat, but that's something different. I would totally agree, though. If I had to see, look, I used to watch people like spit fire and stuff like that on Fantasy Island. That's even before I went on a Disney vacation. So I would not want to see that on the TV in my room. That is something you have to see live.
You have to see it live, yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
Because if you watch it on TV, if this guy drops it and burns himself to death, they're not going to show that.
Yeah.
But when you watch it live, anything could freaking happen.
Yeah.
That dude could catch on fire. You remember we walked out of our room at the Polynesian? That dude was just going nuts with the fire, and we had to stop.
That's what I'm thinking about. Like, if they'd have been like, hey, look, here's this cool thing that happened. It's just on this big screen. Like, I might like watch it if I'm waiting to get some ice cream or waiting to use the bathroom. But like, no, live, I would stop and see that, because that is physically not something you would see every day.
You're more intentional about it if it's live versus like on a screen. It's more
because like Danny said, I mean, you could YouTube that. You could view. I don't know. You could watch Survivor, and probably the first 5 minutes of the intro of that they would show it.
To be fair, let me ask Keith a question here, because Keith, you're saying in the future COVID's over, but would I watch this? And the answer would be no, because the parks would still be open. But now, like, if I'm back at my room by 8 because they shut down everything early and I've got nothing to do but watch TV, then I might do it. I mean, so it depends on, I guess,
what the scenario is.
I'm just kind of saying that, like, they're setting up the president. Because of budget cuts, they're going to have less entertainment. Are they going to bring this entertainment back, and could they replace it by just doing a pre-recording of it?
Okay, let's say the fire thing. if it was, again, I'd rather see that live. But let's say they actually, if I didn't have a choice, and I had to watch programming of it, maybe if they did something in depth, like I don't want to trash the man's name, but let's say the fire breather's name was Tom. Just like,
I don't think his name was Tom.
I know it wasn't Tom, but I don't want
to. It would totally ruin it if his name was
Tom the fire breather.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to mess up the culture. Like, I don't know like a good Hawaiian name.
Tua.
Like, Tua. Okay.
Tua. There you go.
Fair enough. So Tua, he's like, this is the story of Tua and how he came to be. That he shows you tricks that you wouldn't see live, but he's like, oh yes, when I was a kid, this is so okay. Now I'm kind of invested a little bit more in the performers, so then I would watch that. And then if the end is what they would do, and I would normally see that if I was live, that makes a little more sense. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're like learning something.
Right. That has a little more build to it, and now we know who Tua is. Whereas before meeting him live, pre-COVID, he was just a performer, but
another
now,
guy spinning some fire.
Now we know it's like Tua and Haka. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
they doing their thing.
And Manti Teo.
Yeah. And, Haku. You know what I'm saying? They spinning stuff, and then like for Tua, she's doing the dance and everything. Now we learning this story.
Yeah, like think of it like this. Like if I was like, we talked about it to this day. We walked out of the room over the Polynesian, and we were going over to Ohana, and boom, there's this dude right in front of us doing the fire spin, everything, and we just stopped and watched it, and we told you about it when we got back, told Lee, told the listeners, told everybody. But if I was like flipping around the channels last night and I came across a TV program with a guy spinning fire and doing all the same stuff, I don't think I would mention it. I don't think I would stay on that channel. I think I would just move on.
What do you want to interview? Like, let's say that you could talk to Tua.
Oh, if I met Tua, like if I'm watching Tua in person and I'm invested and I'm like, oh, dude, what this dude's doing is dangerous. Like, because I don't know. He could have done that 20,000 times, burned himself like the first 19, got it right that one, and that's what they're airing, because I know there's no danger in that act.
Well, Manti Teo will be spinning an invisible flame.
Oh, wow.
An imaginary flame.
It's all just a stick? That's it?
No, not even. He's just sitting there.
They CGI the flame stick.
Come on, that man got catfish. Leave him alone.
Man, I'm sorry.
That's true. You did.
So I have another one for you.
You have another one for us? Okay.
Yeah, so I have another one for you. Electric water pageant.
Ooh, what about it?
So I don't think that's presently running because they don't want people standing at the beach gathering to watch it. You think that's going to come back?
I think if it's not COVID and they're okay with people gathering around, that they'll bring it back because the infrastructure is already in place. It can't be that much to run it.
And there wasn't that many people crowding to see it to begin with. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't like a big thing.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, oh, what's that out? Look out the window. Okay, cool. That's gone now. And, maybe some diehard fans would want to find a spot to watch it, but it ain't like a fireworks or a parade where people park themselves an hour early to go watch the electric water pageant.
Yeah, like the most I've ever seen was if we're eating dinner over at the Grand, what do you call it? Blanking.
Narcoossee's.
Thank you. If we're eating dinner at Narcoossee's and then they announce it and then boom, it comes. All the diners will go outside to go. Well, not all, but most of the diners will go outside to go watch it, and they'll gather on the little the balcony area.
Balcony, yeah.
But at that point, you're outside, so it's actually safer than being inside the restaurant.
Well, sure. Absolutely. That's a very good point, Lee.
Or it could be more dangerous depending on how many people go on the balcony.
Right, and if it's still dangerous to be that close together, then they got the restaurant open at what 50% capacity as it is, so you can spread out while you're out there on that.
Anything's possible railing, with COVID. I mean, if you worry about people, basically worry about people breathing on you. So I mean, there's no safe place.
Yeah, no, that better not go away. The electrical water, I'd be ticked. That's one of me and Lily's favorite activities.
That is a nice little thing. I do.
It really is.
Oh, I know. It'll just pass by very fast, so you have no time to gather. Watch it.
Right.
It'll just zoom past like a speedboat.
They go and get that Hulk Hogan boat to pull it.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. Get that thunder to pull
He's
it.
all about that Hulk Hogan boat.
Yeah. All right, what else you got, Keith?
And that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have anything. It's kind of hard to predict what's going to come back. Is Disney just going to look at this as certain opportunities just to do some budget cuts and say, oh, we don't really need that anymore? I don't know. I guess time will tell.
Yes. That.
Yeah, what he said.
Whatever's more
That
cost
day.
efficient.
That is
Yeah.
exactly what they're
Yeah.
going to do. They're going to look at any way they can go ahead and cut
Try to
some
save a
costs.
dollar, yeah.
try to save
Projections
dollars.
of the future.
It's all about the cash flow zilla.
I do
Totally.
think. I think what you're going to see going forward is more of an investment in the idea of virtual queuing, because I think there's got to be a contingency plan, because they never know when the next one of these will come along, and maybe less of an emphasis on rides like say like a Buzz Lightyear where you all got to hold the same. Although they're going to be screwed with that Spider-Man thing, I guess. But that they already announced that, so they got to go with it. But yeah, I think you're going to see less of an emphasis on that kind of thing. Although Buzz Lightyear is running now, right? They're not wiping down the guns in between rides, are they?
Not that in my knowledge.
But they
no.
give you gloves.
So, yeah.
I don't think they even give you gloves. Yeah.
Well, I got a box of gloves. We have to go. I'll bring that.
All right.
There you go.
Let's bring some wet wipes.
But I mean, to Danny's point, though, Universal just canceled their new park temporary but they don't say when they're going to build it now. So Disney might put less money investing into new attractions until 5 years down the line when attendance is kind of back and tourism's back for the.
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's going to affect them.
I'm more curious what's going to happen with the 50th anniversary, and is what's going to be online come October, or is it going to be more into the 2022 before you get all of the 50th anniversary stuff, or what's going to get canceled?
Lee, 51 is the new 50.
What?
Dude, I always said that. For real.
What?
This year doesn't count.
This year doesn't
I'm still
exist.
celebrating my 50th birthday in 2022.
There you go.
Right there with you, bud.
But I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up, Keith, because they just had that investor call, right?
Yeah, they just had
And
that.
they not a word about the parks.
Yeah, it was pretty much a lot of
Not
Disney
a
Plus.
freaking word about the park.
And I was gonna say that's another thing that COVID has done that really affects Disney in the future is it kind of cut down their ability to project what's the good next IP, because no movies could really come out, therefore you couldn't really see the revenue, you couldn't get an idea. Maybe if you want to
And
put
then you
in,
couldn't build it in the parks. is
That's
what
a
you're saying?
good point.
yeah, maybe you could make the argument Baby Yoda saving the day. I wouldn't touch that, but yeah, there's no gauge for them to have the next IP going into. At least would you go as far as to say, like you said, 2022, right? You use that because this year doesn't count. Let's say COVID's over middle of next year, say by summer. They don't have anything to kind of be like, oh yeah, here's that next big thing. Here's that next character to walk in the parade, or that everybody's like gung-ho about, because they have no gauge.
Well, that's why it's hard to, I really kind of thought when they came out with Onward that might be something that we would see in Animal Kingdom, and that would finally bridge the gap for that land of creatures that never were kind of thing. But it never had a chance.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're going for that. Yeah.
It was a bad timing.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was a victim of bad timing. And look, it wasn't the best movie in the world, but I mean, I thought it was a solid effort. So who knows if it would have caught on or not? All I know is that a lot of kids know it and love it because that's all they had to watch for months.
Until Timmy came along, right? Yeah.
Timmy Failure. That was the next big one. So I think that's why you're seeing them concentrate more on Disney Plus, because they know they can get their. Hey, look, that's something. That's something.
They're looking for their gauge, probably,
right?
yeah.
Right. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Because everybody has a TV at their house already. Yeah.
That there's no way to pull people who are non-Disney fans, because they all know if you're into Disney Plus, you gotta love Disney. Can't not like Disney, get Disney Plus.
All very nice and stuff to think about what the future holds. It still hasn't been written yet, but we're definitely on the cusp of seeing what's going to happen, especially in the parks.
Oh, total cusp.
We know what we're going to do with the Disney Plus thing, but the parks, who knows? Only the future will tell. So, Keith, thanks a lot, man, for bringing us these series of shows.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man, you brought us all throughout the history.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
I'm a big time travel. I had you 71 to 2020 here and the future.
You did.
It was great. If you haven't had a chance to, make sure you go check out the past 2 weeks of shows, Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, and of course you're listening to this one right here, right now. So you want to catch all three of these shows on our channels. Stay subscribed to us. And if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Guys, we hope you enjoyed that discussion about the Ghost of Christmas Future in Walt Disney World. If you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to share your opinion, you can get in touch with us through the following ways. Shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, leave us a voicemail via our SpeakPipe widget, or you can call or send us a text message at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815-MOWEEKEND 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of guys that do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics, Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru, Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
Yeah, that's one guru. I always talk about another guru. And just like that man said, you can check out the Ivory Comics website. We see all the good artwork that Rob mentioned. But what he didn't mention is that you could always get a link to this awesome podcast so you never miss an episode. That's right. You'll never miss out. You'll never miss out. You can also find me on Facebook.com. So Eli H. Ivory, I'm always there. As long as you're a real person, you're welcome. But as long as you're about, get out. You can also check out Project Geisha on Facebook. So Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, I'm out there too, posting up the likes and the comments. So eIvory504, you can find me there. And of course, on Twitter, I can be found at Hancock10166. So, Merry Christmas, you guys. And if you appreciate the madness, then just bring me some very merry gladness. Thank you.
And if you want to head down to Walt Disney World so you can check out all the cavalcades, flotillas, promenades, watercades, Gatorades, all this kind of stuff, book it through Lee. Lee, tell them how to do this.
Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-LEDs nuts. That's 832-LEDEEZNTZ.
That's funny.
Hold on. Miracle you get anyone calling you. It really
I call
is.
a book with these nuts.
Those nuts? No, these nuts.
Are these nuts available?
Who's nuts?
These nuts.
Who's nuts?
These nuts can book me a travel, please. I was hoping to find these nuts. Oh my God.
I want my package to have the D's nuts guarantee. Good Lord.
I want the Park Hopper D's nuts package, please.
Yes.
I want the honey roasted these nuts.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Oh, so if anybody's listening and still wants to book with you, Lee, how are they going to do this, man?
Email me at lee@magicourway.com. Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee Travel. If you do need that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no
honey roasted Naxavica.
And Professor X, if any of the listeners want to check out some of your stuff on social media so they can keep up with the history, how are they going to get in touch with you, sir?
They can reach out to me at Disney Thanks Gib on Twitter.
On Twitter. Man only has one social media. How you like that?
I got an idea for Keith. Why don't we have him pitch his ideas real quick to give us like 3 future shows that you would like to do, Keith, and we'll let the listeners decide which one we'll do next time when you were ready to record. Maybe like next month, the following month, whenever you've recouped from this experience. I'm sure you're tired of us.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I
like
like
offering them
that.
a present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that because we're only a couple of weeks away from the new year, so we might as well just give us a little idea. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
there you go. Christmas present for all your listeners. So
Good
I have
job.
3 ideas.
But
You're
too
our
close.
gift, Keith. You're our gift
You are
to our
the
listeners.
gift.
There you go. Well, thank you.
Future, past, and present.
So let's have the listeners, are they interested in learning about the history of the Country Bears and Country Bear Jamboree in everything like that.
All the iterations, yes.
Or are they interested in learning about the science of Disney, talking about how Disney's 5 senses at Disney World trick you into believing in the magic and that kind of thing? Or are they interested in another history show talking about the history of the Wilderness Lodge?
Oh, these are good choices.
All good choices.
Man, these
nuts.
All of them nuts.
So just to recap, we got History Country Bears, we got the History of the Wilderness Lodge, and then we got the Science of Disney, so like all the senses and stuff.
I'm leaning towards that Science of Disney.
I know, I am too. I dig that. I don't know. But we don't want to sway the listeners.
I know, but I could just see, like, maybe that's Keith's niche. Like, he's like the Mr. Wizard of Disney.
Yes!
There you go, yeah.
Instead of Professor X, he could be Wizard X.
X9, the science guy.
X9, the science
guy. I could do that, but let's let the listeners decide which one they want to hear first.
Yeah, let's see what they want to hear first.
Yeah, no, Merry Christmas, listeners. You guys pick, and we will...
And when Keith has gotten over his PTSD from being on this show for 3 times running?
Three in a row.
Three in a row. When he's gotten over that and all the teasing and everything that he's gotten on and off air, and he's ready to come back, we'll do that. All right.
Sounds good, gentlemen.
Cool, man. Thank you always for coming on the show. We look forward definitely to next time, and you make sure you have a great holiday Christmas and stuff.
And send your therapy bills straight over to D's Nuts Inc.
D's Nuts. D's honey roasted nuts.
No problem.
All right, guys, look, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to take a second and thank you for being a loyal listener, and we love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohicans, ladies and gentlemen, we say Kwaharini. My name's Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up with tacos.
Mickey's Very Merry. Step back 6 feet and pull up your damn mass parade.
D's nuts.
When I'm not stealing people's pillows, I'm always listening to Mad Hatter Radio. Sorry about that.
When I'm going into Eli's room, the